Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are an old subscriber, welcome back to my channel. I am Licia Amufa and this is Licia's Health and Maternity. In this channel we talk about everything concerning motherhood, concerning parenting, concerning postpartum, concerning pregnancy and childbirth. So if you just click this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos because we have a whole lot to offer, so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Well, I am a mom of four. I am officially a mom of four, and I'm just adjusting to the idea of being a mom of four. Oh my god, it's so fabulous and it's so draining, but at the end of the day it's worth it. Well, in this video I am going to share my birth story. Well, so as you know, when you're pregnant and your time is due, like at the last stages of pregnancy, you'll be scheduled for a weekly doctor's appointment. So on the 4th of March 2024, I went to my weekly doctor's appointment. I did a lab. Everything was okay. I did a scan. Everything was okay. I went to show the results to the doctor, and the doctor said everything was okay, but I needed to be admitted. I was 38 weeks and I was contracting, but it was inconsistent, Eli. The contraction can be consistent for about 2 hours and then it vanished, like it never happened. And then it comes back like about 6 hours later. So I was doing everything that I needed to do to speed up labor, like exercising, eating, some natural remedies to induce labor, which doesn't have any consequences. Like I was eating date fruits, I was exercising, I was walking throughout my pregnancy. I was always going for a night walk with my husband, in case we were doing that like frequently, like almost every day. Especially when I was about 7 months gone, I was always taking a walk with my husband and the kids, and I was also walking down the stairs. So I was so anxious to have my baby, so I was doing everything that I can to speed up labor. So going back to the doctor's report, after I went to the doctor, I did a lab and the scan, everything was okay, and I was asked to be admitted. So I was admitted. I went with my kids. My kids were on vacation, so I went with my kids and I was admitted. So while in the hospital, I called my husband because my husband thought I was just going for a doctor's appointment. He didn't know I'll be admitted. So I called my husband, and then my husband arrived. And then I told him I was admitted at a hospital for a C-section, which I didn't agree. I didn't want it. It's not like I didn't want a C-section, but then C-section is beautiful, it's wonderful, and believe me when I say this, if C-section is the last option, I will do it. And I believe every woman right here will also understand the idea that, and every woman right here who have had a C-section, is either they asked for it, or maybe a C-section was the last option, or they had an emergency birth and the C-section is the only way out. So when the doctor told me that he wanted to do a C-section, I said no, but then I was admitted and I told the doctor told me that he will induce me in the night. So if he induced me in the night and then nothing happens the next day, then we have to go for an emergency C-section. So in the night I was not induced. Okay, so I was not induced though, but then I was okay, I was doing well. And then the doctor came again, and then he gave me a scenario of a woman who had 3 kids like myself at that time, and the woman's husband refused to do a C-section, and they went home, and later when they came, he did a C-section and the woman died. So if you're watching me and you're pregnant, please, if you think you cannot watch this, please skip this part. So after he told me that, my BP started going up, because I am a mom of 3 already, and he gave me a scenario of a woman who is also a mom of 3. So when he told me that about the woman who refused a C-section, and then the later came and then he did a C-section and the woman died, believe me, my BP started going up. I started sweating. My BP started going up and up and up. At that time, my husband had not arrived yet. So I booked a private room. So I went to my room. My kids were there. But my kids were like, "Mommy, are you okay?" I didn't want them to know I wasn't okay. So I told him I was doing well. And then I called my husband that my BP have suddenly started going up. And whilst I was talking to my husband asked me, "Are you okay?" Because it seems like I was breathing so fast whilst I was talking to him. I don't know, because at that time I was vulnerable, and I believe that if you're pregnant, you also understand that when you're pregnant, you are very vulnerable. That's why there's a saying that when a woman is pregnant and you do something bad to her, she'll never forget it. So when I was pregnant at that time, when at that time I heard a story, I was really, really scared. I was really scared, and my BP started going up. I was so vulnerable at that stage. So I called my husband to stop whatever he is doing to come there, because I needed him there. I couldn't even stay in the private room alone. I wanted him to stay there. So my husband planned on taking the kids to my in-laws' place, whilst he joined me to stay in the private room. And then my husband came to get my kids, and then he took my kids to my in-laws' place. So my husband and I, we sat at one place and we waited, and then finally at 7 p.m. we heard that there is available bed at the maternity ward, and we went there. So while we were leaving the hospital that I was before we came to Confirmatory Teaching Hospital, I didn't take my bath. Like, everything happened so fast, and we had to be in a hurry to go to Confirmatory, so I didn't bath. When we finally got a bed, so the whole day I hadn't taken my bath. When we finally got a bed, I was so uncomfortable. I felt so bad because I haven't taken my shower for the whole day, and I was contracting. And the thing that encouraged me most when we arrived at Confirmatory Teaching Hospital was that a doctor checked me, and the moment he checked me, told me that yes, you can have a vaginal delivery because you are already 4 centimeters dilated and there is no complication. And I think the doctor did membrane sweep or something. I don't know if it was a membrane sweep or something. I am actually planning on going to the hospital. I'll go at the right time because I have so many things to do at the hospital. I'll go back to that hospital again, and when I go, I'll find this doctor who gave me, like, he gave me an encouragement, because when I arrived at the hospital, I was discouraged. I was so discouraged. I didn't know what was going on. Although I left the other hospital to go there, I was like, did I make the right decision? I think I made the right decision, because the doctor encouraged me and told me that I can deliver my baby by myself. So I was so encouraged the moment I heard that. And my husband asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm perfect. I'll wait till I get a bed." I wanted a private room, but the private room was really far from the maternity ward. So I was given a bed at the maternity ward where about 4 people are in one room. So I went there and I got a bed. And finally, guys, when I got a bed, I was able to take a shower and I felt so good. And then when I finally hit my sleeping bed, I started contracting. I think around 8 p.m. I started contracting. I was using a drip. I don't know if it was an epidural or what. At that time I was so confused. Like, I was so in a shock at that time that I don't really know what was really going on. The only thing I knew was that doctor told me I can deliver my baby by myself, and he told me that my baby will be born within 12 to 24 hours. So that word he said was everything to me. So all I knew was that my baby reborn vaginally. So when I got the bed, I took a shower and then I laid on the bed. I started contracting. The contraction was getting intense, but it wasn't painful. It wasn't painful. So it was about 30 minutes more for me to deliver my baby. That was when the contraction really got intense. That was when I really felt intensity of the contraction. It was really intense, and it was about 1 minute apart, and I was screaming like every woman in the labor ward was awake. Like I literally woke everyone up. I woke everyone who was there. A lot of women were asleep. Some have had C-section. Their baby were in the NICU and they were all asleep, and I woke everyone up because 30 minutes before the baby was born, the contraction was really intense. The contraction really got so intense that I couldn't control it. I was shouting. When the contraction started, I was just doing something like this. I was doing this. I was listening to birth affirmation on my phone, and I was listening to a whole lot of songs, dialing check, gospel songs, like so many beautiful gospel songs. And I listened to gospel songs for some time, and then I switched it to birth affirmations. So I was so encouraged. I was living in my own world. I was so encouraged. I was so happy. My husband was standing outside waiting. But still, the contraction was not really intense. So my husband said, okay, then let me go home and then I'll come back the next day. So my husband left the hospital around 12 a.m. And then my contraction started to get intense about 30 minutes before I gave birth. So whilst I think the nurse on duty at that time was midwife Lordina, who helped me to deliver my baby. So she asked me, Felicia, why are you shouting? I said that I cannot control the contraction. And she said that it's okay. When you feel the urge to pee, when you feel the urge to poo, let me know and I will come. And then she was attending to other hospitals. Like every nurse there was, every nurse there was very efficient, like they were just going and coming, attending to patients. This is not how I planned my birth to be. I never planned on going there. I never dreamt that I'll give birth there. My plan was to give birth in Canada, and then it didn't happen. And I wanted to give birth at the place where I was going to my doctor's appointment. It didn't happen, and I ended up Confanachi Teaching Hospital. And when I reached there, I realized that it was God's plan for me to be there, to know how the hospital is, to know how people are going through there, to know the experience there. And I also went there and I experienced everything there. The nurses are so efficient, they are so kind and everything. And then around 4:30 a.m., I felt the urge to poo. And before the midwife even arrived, when I shouted her name before she arrived, I have already disgraced myself. And then she rushed me to the labor ward. Guys, when I got there, I laid on the bed and I started pushing. I started pushing, guys. I started pushing. I started screaming. I started screaming everything that I got inside of me. And when the baby was almost there, like oh my God, I lost my strength. I lost everything that I had in me. I couldn't scream again. I couldn't push again. And I told the midwife, I said that, oh God, help me. I cannot do this. And she said that God have already answered. You can. Give us your last push. Guys, when I tried my last push, it was nothing. I couldn't. I asked myself, are you joking? You have done this severally. But then still, I couldn't do it. And the midwife kept encouraging me. She said that, Felicia, God have answered. You can do it. And then I pushed my baby for the last time. Still, the baby was not out. So the midwife helped me to push the baby. The baby's head was already out. And she helped me to push the baby out. And when she pushed the baby out, I had some bruises. But fortunately, within a week, it was gone. So I asked her, did I have a tissue? She said that no. It's just some small bruises and it will go. That's what I'm saying, that eating date fruit is known to soften the cervix, which also helps to prevent tearing when you are delivering a baby. And then finally, my baby was delivered. And believe me when I say this, it was the most beautiful moment of my life. All my babies were born at night, and anytime my babies are born, it will be raining. By this time, it had already rained. It was drizzling, and the weather was so cold. Everywhere was quiet, and my baby was born. It was so beautiful, but guys, I couldn't cry. I was in shock. The shock of the dream I had and the experience I had at the other hospital of a C-section, me rejecting the C-section, the doctor telling me the story of a woman who had 3 kids like myself, who lost her life after she refused to have a C-section. She went home with her husband. They came later, the doctor did a C-section, then she lost her life. I was in fear. I was in fear during my pregnancy, and the day of delivery, I was in fear. So I was in so much shock that I couldn't. Although I held my baby so closely, I couldn't cry. Although I was happy, I couldn't cry. Everything felt like a dream. When my baby finally was put on my chest like this, I felt like I was dreaming. I felt like, am I living in reality, or it's just a dream? Have I delivered my baby, or it's just a dream? I was so in a shock that I couldn't cry. I couldn't do anything. And when the midwife helped me to my bed, I was still in a shock. I couldn't connect with the baby. But at the same time, I was so happy. I was so excited. And then finally, I called my husband. He told me that the moment I called him and I told him I've delivered the baby, he knelt on the ground and he started crying and shouting to God, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." I know a lot of us women have a story to tell about our childbirth. Birth is very spiritual. It's a journey between life and death. And after having your baby, oh my God, you realize the power of God. You realize that God can do exceedingly abundantly. God really does exist. I don't know how to describe it, but I believe that every woman who have been in the labor ward totally agreed with me. Birth is very spiritual. And today, I'm here to tell you that I'm the happiest woman on earth, delivering my baby. And I'm so excited that I had the birth of my dream, though not the elegant way that I imagined and dreamt and planned. It didn't go that way, but then it ended the best way it could have ever been. I had a vaginal delivery as I wanted, and I had no tear. And I'm so grateful to God every day. And today, I wish every woman who is pregnant and watching me right now, you will deliver your baby as you dream, as you want it to be. And if you are scheduled for a C-section, I pray for protection for you, your child, and yourself. You will deliver a healthy, bouncy baby, and you and the baby will live healthy. So this is my best story. I believe you are encouraged and inspired. You can birth your baby, you can deliver your baby, and you and your baby will live healthy. My name is Licia, and this is Delicious Health and Maternity. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Bye.